Caliligos is a 1490 item level guardian raid. It is considered the most difficult and annoying guardian raid in the game due to the boss being very active with a lot of movement, AoE attacks that shock you and stun you. On top of that, it is a guardian raid where you must use battle items to complete a mechanic and move to the next phase. Caliligos has 3 phases that have different or empowered attacks and patterns that can appear in each phase. Recommended battle items are Flare, Pheromone Bomb, Whirlwind Grenade and Destruction Bomb. The most optimal battle item usage is player 1 uses Flare and Pheromone to spot the boss at the start and after each phase mechanic, while players 2, 3 and 4 all use Whirlwind Grenades and Destruction Bombs to pass the mechanic. Expected rewards are the next tier of Guardian Stones, Destruction Stones and Leap Stones, while Bracelets are not 100% guaranteed to drop. If you are interested in a more detailed written version of this guide, please check out the link in the description and make sure you hit the subscribe button as I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Caliligos Guardian Raid is split into 3 phases where certain normal patterns and attacks can happen in any phase and some of them are also empowered. Main mechanic happens only in phase 2 and phase 3, starting off with the normal patterns in phase 1. Caliligos stands still and turns blue. You have around 2 seconds to counter. Failure to counter means he will dash forward. Caliligos moves forward while striking 2 times with his front legs. Save spot is anywhere other than in front of him. Caliligos swipes his tail from left to right. Save spot is on his left side or in front of him. Caliligos flies into the air, targeting a player. He then moves slightly forward and slams the ground. Save spot is anywhere other than in front of him. Caliligos targets a player, moves forward and slams the ground in front of him. Save spot is anywhere that is not in front. Caliligos flies into the air and disappears. Shortly after, he indicates with AoE on the ground where he will land. Spacebar away or don't stand close to the center. Caliligos stands still, becomes invincible and starts casting small lightning AoE attacks around him. Use first Pheromone Bomb during the transition. Moving on to phase 2. In phase 2, Caliligos applies lightning stacks every time a player gets hit by one of his lightning attacks. Upon reaching 5 stacks, players get shocked and stunned for a couple of seconds. Around the boss, there are multiple blue orbs that shoot out smaller orbs. Destroying the orb will grant you and everyone close around it immunity to shock attacks and lightning stacks, and also cleanse all the stacks a player has. It is recommended to destroy the orb when you are at 4 lightning stacks. Caliligos flies into the air, targets a player, moves forward and slams the ground in front of him, projecting cone-shaped lightning. Save spot is on the sides and behind. Caliligos flies behind, then turns around and shoots out a cone-shaped lightning attack that explodes shortly after. Save spot is anywhere that is not in front of him. Caliligos curls up and summons a force field around him, while shooting lightning AoE attacks outside of it. Stand inside the force field and do not attack the boss. Attacking the boss will trigger his retaliation attack. Caliligos flies into the air and summons lightning AoE attacks around him. Stand underneath him and wait for all the outside AoE attacks to explode, then spacebar away from the center as he will drop down and do another AoE attack. The main mechanic happens after you reach certain amount of HP or after certain amount of time. Caliligos raises his right arm and starts charging an attack while stagger bar appears. You have 5 seconds to stagger him, and if you lack stagger, use Whirlwind Grenades. After completing the stagger, straight after you have 1 second to counter the boss. After a successful counter, his horn becomes exposed and you want to use destruction bombs and weak point skills to break it. After breaking the horn, 5 white orbs will spawn in 4 cardinal directions, slowly moving to the boss. Each player needs to destroy exactly 5 orbs. Destroying more than 5 orbs will apply heavy bleed on that player that will instantly kill you, and not destroying all 5 orbs and letting 1 or more orbs hit the boss will result in an AoE wipe attack. Failing to complete any of these 4 gimmicks during the mechanic means you will not trigger the phase 3 transition and you have to wait until he does the mechanic again while dealing with all the other patterns. And finishing off with phase 3, Caliligos swipes his tail from left to right in a cone-shaped area while also shooting out lightning that follows from the swipe and applies lightning stacks. Safe area is in front of him or at his sides. Caliligos flies into the air and summons yellow lightning AoE attacks in the outside area. He stays in the air much longer in phase 3 while a safe spot is standing underneath him. After he shows the AoE indicator underneath him, spacebar away to dodge his drop AoE attack. Caliligos charges the counter, spreads his wings and turns blue. You have 2 seconds to counter, and failing will unleash a big AoE blast that deals a lot of damage. Caliligos periodically spawns a big white orb with a golden outline. Destroy it as soon as it appears, otherwise after 10 seconds it will explode and wipe the raid. Caliligos flies in the air, targets a player, moves forward and slams the ground 3 times in front of him, projecting big AoE blasts. Safe spot is on the sides and behind. This covers absolutely everything about Caliligos Guardian Raid. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, as I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.